If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, why should you keep your service vehicle clean or your sales vehicle clean, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live for HVAC technician sales secrets on a perfect day to talk about you and a perfect day to talk about business. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento. All right, so as a corporate sales trainer, as a consultant, there were and are times that I go ride with salespeople. There were and are times that I go ride with technicians. And so here's what could happen, and this has happened a lot. So company will say, "Hey, Scott's working with you today." I go jump in the vehicle, and I can't because there's a pile of cups and wrappers that are probably months old that the technician needs to pull up to the dumpster and completely dump stuff out. And there was a guy that I rode with one time, and his vehicle was such a mess that he had rats in his service van. Okay, like the worst example, dude literally had rats in his service van because he had food and nastiness, and it was freaking disgusting. Had to tell the company, we're going in a different vehicle. I am not riding with rats in a service van. There's a lot of reasons for this, okay? One, there's the mental fitness of you going to a call, like, I'm in a clean vehicle. It may have a little bit of dirt on the outside, but the inside, like, everything's organized, everything's cleaned. There is that element of mental real estate. Number two, I will tell you with 100% certainty, on your worst day, on the worst possible day for your vehicle, you open the door and there's no room for anything, and that homeowner walks out to the vehicle with you, the door opens and garbage falls out, right? I know what it was like. Run 7, 10, 12 calls in a day, have a whole bunch of old capacitors, have a whole bunch of old contactors, old refrigerant bottles, old fan motors. You got to get that stuff out of your vehicle. Now, here's the other thing. There's a huge benefit for you having no old parts in your vehicle. And here's what it is. At some point, you, my friend, are going to get accused of selling old parts or bringing something out of your van, and somebody's going to say this was old and this is what's going to happen to it. So anytime I pulled out a capacitor, I'd write the date on it and I'd write in big letters bad, right? If it was bad, I'd write big letters bad. If it was a fan motor, I would write the date and I would write maybe the job name on it so we could correlate it. Someone's like, "Hey, you're putting an old piece of equipment," like, "Hey, look, let's go to my van. Every old piece of part of equipment has a job name and it has a date, and I can correlate that to anything." And it's going to be recent. It'll be like in the last 72 hours. I never kept old parts and pieces in my van ever, right? So be aware that there is a lot of upside for you keeping a vehicle clean. And this right here is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training. It's an email publication. You'll get emails from me, okay? So you are judged. So you go to Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith's house, and you open the van door, the transit door, the car door, and there's nowhere to sit. There's a whole bunch of parts. There's a whole bunch of cups, paperwork everywhere. That person's like, you know, if this is how you're going to treat your vehicle, how are you going to treat my house? And if your company lets you keep your vehicle treated this way, how are you going to treat me? And if you do this, what is your installer's vehicle going to look like? You got to know that you will absolutely be judged 100%. And if they have a filthy house and they got a dirty house, you'll probably be judged even more. In your mind, you're like, "Hey, Scott, that's not fair." But be aware, like, as dudes, you can walk around with dirty hands for the most part and nobody cares. The second that a woman sees dirty hands in her home, yep, I'm going to have to talk about gender here, simmer down. They're like, "Get out of my house. Get out of my house." And then they take a look and they're like, "What does your vehicle look like?" And then we'll go. It's a sign from sales, the sales god, to tell you no. We'll think about it. We'll call you back, which means we're never calling you again. Be aware there is a certain stigma to dirty vehicles, to nasty vehicles, to disgusting vehicles that will cost you deals. And it may not happen every time. You're like, "Hey, Scott, I ran a call yesterday. Homeowner came out. Truck was dirty. They didn't care," right? Well, they judged you. They just didn't say anything. It's been hot outside. They need a system. It's going to be on the day where you need to make a sale and everything matters and everything is on the line. You're going to take somebody to your vehicle, to your car, to your transit, to your Sprinter, to your bicycle, I don't know, to your motorcycle, and they're going to look at it and be like, "This thing's freaking disgusting. We're not going to do it." You got one of three things to do from here, just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.